Hello, welcome to the Bearded Horror Review. My name is Dan, aka The Boogeyman, and on this show, I will watch a horror movie, either a classic or a new release, talk about some good points, talk about some bad points, if there are any of either, give it a rating out of 10, if I remember to do it, and let you know if I think the film is worth a watch or not, in my humble opinion. And with the release of The Black Phone 2, Spooky Black Phone, Ghost Kids on the Phone, Don't Answer the Phone, I thought I would take a look back at the original Black Phone from 2022. So let's talk about it. The Black Phone was a film, like I said, came out in 2022. So this is a retrospective review, so there are going to be spoilers. So here's your spoiler warning if you don't want to know anything at all. And leave a like, because that's what cool people do. And the story of this film revolves around a young lad named Finney, who during the 70s has grown up in an area where a bunch of kids are going missing. One day he is abducted by the person who was doing this, labeled as the Grabber. He is locked in the Grabber's basement, and while he is there, he starts receiving phone calls from a black phone that is on the wall. And the people on the other end of the phone are the previous kids that went missing.
Hello?
Don't hang up.
Who are you?
While this is happening, his sister is having visions and dreams, and she is trying to use this to try and find her brother and catch the Grabber. Now, this is a film that was made by Blumhouse and is from the same guy who did Sinister, which is another reason why Ethan Hawke is in it. And it is kind of a throwback to those old school kind of 70s paranormal serial killer kind of weird films. You know, things like The Omen and, you know, Rosemary's Baby, stuff that's got a bit of a weird twist in it and a spooky character, and having a child as the main character, which is something that happened a lot during the 80s. So yeah, I mean, is it good though? No, I didn't see this film when it originally came out, like as it came out. I waited until it came out on Blu-ray and bought it and watched it in the comfort of my own home. Everyone I spoke to said Ethan Hawke as the Grabber was amazing.
I'll scream. I'll scratch your face.
This face?
And we've all seen the poster, you've seen the thumbnail. That mask that they came up with is incredible. And the fact that it can come apart, it's got different faces that can be put on it, was a genius idea. It's been a long time since a mask has really been designed well. And the Grabber is chef's kiss. That's the first great thing about this film. Ethan Hawke in this film as the Grabber is absolutely fantastic. He plays these different kind of personalities that the Grabber has so well. The way he flips on a dime to be extremely sinister, to being this calm kind of goofy character. The way that he uses these characters to manipulate and torture Finney is absolutely amazing. The fact that it's Ethan Hawke, you know, Ethan Hawke doesn't really play characters like this. So when he did this, it was a big deal, and he absolutely nails it. Shadow of a doubt, when everyone was talking about it, it's correct. He is fantastic in this. The film itself is quite a good premise, you know. A kid who is locked up in a basement starts getting these phone calls. Are they real? Are they in his head? Are they actually, you know, the ghost kids? Has he got powers like his sister? I'm going to say probably yes. The fact that Finney comes from a broken home and he has a very disturbed father, but there is a reason behind all of that. The father himself, I mean, it's a film set in the 70s, like, you're gonna have an alcoholic, abusive father, like, that's just what they do in these films. But there is more to it than he's just an alcoholic father. It revolves around the sister. Now, the sister has mentioned several times during the film that she has these visions. She tries to tell the police, but she also wants to keep it hidden because her father doesn't like her having these visions. And we get a scene in this film where the father explains that their mother had these visions too, to the point where it drove her to the point of harming herself. Now, could that have been because they actually told her to do that, or for the fact that she just wanted to keep these voices quiet? We don't know. But this man that we have in it is a very troubled man, because he doesn't want his daughter going down the same path, but he doesn't know how to deal with it. And the fact that, he's had to go through this kind of trauma is why he drinks himself. He drinks himself so he doesn't have a brain cell to think. And that straight away, because this is something that happens early in the film, sets it apart from other films like this. And the cheesy jump scares and bad CGI that happen in some moments of this film are what make it like others.
Look what you made me do.
Before we carry on, guys, if you can leave a like and subscribe, it's a little thing for you, but it really helps out the channel. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. So you have to take it with a pinch of salt with this film. I did enjoy this film a lot the first time I watched it. The second time I watched it, I didn't enjoy it as much, but that's because I started to notice things that when I watched it the first time round, I may not have noticed as much. But one of the problems with this film is contrivances. And by that, I mean the whole time that Finney's in the basement, he receives phone calls from different kids. And these kids give him different pieces of information. Some of them don't know who they are, they can't remember that much, they only mention little sentences. Some of them give him full information. It depends how long they've been dead. Surprise, yes, they're all dead. But one of them tells him to try and climb out the window. One of them tells him that there's a cord that is stuffed under a small gap. One of them tells him that he can dig through a wall and get into the back of a freezer. One of them tells him, don't go upstairs because the grabber is playing a game with you called Naughty Boy and he wants you to go upstairs and break the rules. There's all these little things that are going on because the grabber is playing a game with these kids called Naughty Boy. The fact that that's a more sadistic aspect of the grabber is fantastic. The problem with this film is most of the film doesn't involve the grabber. It is revolving around Finney. And when I say contrivances, I mean all of the information that he gets is a build up to him using each little thing to then escape the basement on the perfect day to be able to disappear and get away from the grabber. The problem with that is he pulls a grating off a window. He digs a hole in the ground. He uses a toilet cistern lid to knock a hole in a wall. These are things you can't hide. And when I remember watching this film and going throughout the whole thing, how is the grabber not seeing any of this? How is the grabber not catching onto any of this? How is the grabber not hearing any of this? And saying like, oh, it's soundproofed and stuff like that. There's moments in the film where the grabber says he knows that the kid's not actually asleep. He's pretending to be asleep. He can hear things. He can hear the phone ring. He knows that there is sounds coming from down there. The kid gets covered in dirt. The kid gets injuries. Why is the grate missing? How does he not notice that?
Well, isn't that just peachy keen?
You need some help?
And that is one of those things where, yeah, you have to take it with a pinch of salt, suspend disbelief, but also that shows the contrived writing that they had. They wanted an end goal. They had a scene in mind where Finney would use everything to be able to escape. There is some great setup and some great dialogue at the start. He's playing baseball. He's really good at it. And one of the kids tells him he's got one hell of an arm. He's really good. He's got a strong throw. And so that kind of sets up this kind of dynamic that he has a powerful arm and he can use it. He can hurt somebody if he just stood up for himself. But there's also other tropes, like he's bullied by the other kids for some reason. We don't know why. He always has been, and he's never stood up for himself. But at the end of this film, he's going to stand up for himself. It doesn't really show him as being resourceful, but as soon as he's in the basement, he's quite resourceful. Now, also another thing about this is the acting is a little bit up and down. The girl who plays the sister is incredible. She is so good. That girl in that film, absolutely fantastic. She improvised a reaction as well, where she's getting beaten by her father for having these visions.
They're just fucking dreams. Do you understand me?
Yes!
Do you understand me?
Yes!
Say it. I want to hear you say it.
My dreams are just dreams!
Say it again.
My dreams are just dreams!
Say it again.
My dreams are just dreams!
Some of the stuff in this film really works. Like I said, she's really good. Finney's really good. The guy who plays the dad really is good. Ethan Hawke is amazing. Some of the other kids are not so great, but unfortunately that comes with the territory of having child actors. And it also goes to this trope of, during the 70s, I do believe that the police did look to psychics and things to find serial killers, but you know, it never worked. So they kind of played on that trope there. But also, they wanted to use the black phone. And here's, like I said, a spoiler for the ending of the film. Phineas dug a hole. He puts a blanket over the top of it. He uses the cord that he found under the gap in the floor to create a tripwire. He then packs the phone with soil. And after advice from one of the ghost kids to teach him how to use it as a club, he beats the grabber to death with it. And he also uses a steak that he got out of the freezer to distract the grabber's dog so that he can go upstairs and open the door with the code he got that was scratched into the wall by one of the other kids. That's a lot of very convenient things that line up. And you know, I can understand it's like, oh, it's just building and building. But it was one of those where I couldn't get past the fact that this was all very convenient. And also, they just wanted to use the phone because earlier in the film, Finney knocks through a wall using the lid of a toilet cistern. He could have just beat the grabber with that and the film would have been over. That's the problem though. When you have a specific thing you want to use in your film, you have to kind of try and not use the other things. But unfortunately, these little things will slip through the gaps. And if you're not like me with raging ADHD and autism, you will probably not notice. But for me, I was like, well, why don't you just do that? It's because the film doesn't want it to. And that's the difference between going and then storytelling and therefore this happens storytelling, which again, it's Blumhouse, this happens, but this is a much better film than the other Blumhouse films that we have had over the years. Like Blumhouse, 1 in 20 or whatever, they're good. And this is one of them. Like I said, for Ethan Hawke alone, this film is really good. There is other stuff that happen in this film, like the brother and the police investigation. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on. And for me, I really enjoyed it still to this day. It isn't the masterpiece that people let it out to be, but Ethan Hawke is completely standout in this, and I am looking forward to seeing him in the sequel. For me personally, this is a 6 out of 10. Like I said, it does the job. It's entertaining. It's got these little flaws that you can look past, and you can just have a good time, and you can rewatch it a couple of times. I'm looking forward to Black Phone 2, even though it kind of sounds like a Nightmare on Elm Street. Watch the trailer. Watch my trailer reaction. I'll put it up over here, and you will see what I mean. But what do you guys think of Black Phone? Are you looking forward to Black Phone 2? Let me know down in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Follow me over on Instagram and TikTok, where I put up news and more reviews and all kinds of stuff like that. Little short reviews as well as these long form reviews. And I've got a Patreon if you want to support the channel and keep me going. And until the next time, guys, happy watching.